Alright guys, hope you're doing well. Sorry I've been a little bit not as active as what I've been in the past. It's just I've got a lot of interesting things coming up. Something that's really interesting is I'm setting up a business at the moment which will in the future allow clients and people watching the video, and well, anyone really, to work for me, or work with me, and earn enough money potentially to work from home in your own time, under your own time schedule, and earn enough money. I mean, earn potentially a lot of money, depending on how much effort you put into it. But the effort that you have to put in is very, very minimal. It's a really amazing business, and as I say, I'm just setting that up at the moment with some friends. My friends are really excited about it because it's a great business and a great business model. But the good thing about it is you don't have to put too much into it, but you get a lot out of it. And that's why in the future I'm going to open it up for clients who are struggling on the program to be able to have the opportunity to work from home, which is going to be really exciting. Anyway, what's this video about? Probably similar to the last video really. I don't really have a set title. I really want to talk about just how amazing the development program is, because a lot of people just don't really realise how amazing it actually is. I mean, I think one of the biggest problems is that it appears trivial. Just eat this diet, or just do these enemas, do you know what I mean? Or just do a sauna. If you was getting a random person or another practitioner or another healing practitioner, they say, oh, do a sauna, you'd be like, all right, yeah, interesting, yeah. Or do a coffee enema, all right, yeah, brilliant, yeah, I'll do that. Or do this diet, or take these supplements. By themselves, a little bit like an engine in a car, by themselves, they do, they are important. They do jobs. A coffee enema does a good job of cleaning out the digestive tract, or the colon, and cleaning out the liver, and the supplements do a good job at balancing the oxidation rate, and the diet does a good job at renourishing. But just like an engine, the sum is greater than all of its parts, which basically means when it comes together, you create an engine, and that's kind of what happens in the program. And in a way, that's the beauty of it, the secret of it, and often the most challenging sort of thing when it comes to sort of explaining what the program's all about, because people don't realize, just like a jigsaw, when you get all the pieces in place, a special door will open, a special lock, a special key will kind of open a special lock, and you can only kind of do that when you're really doing the program pretty well. The human body, I'm kind of moving on to a different subject now, I suppose. The human body, a lot of people don't understand that it is so amazing. But it's not only amazing, there's also this higher nature, this higher path, this higher point of life, meaning of life. And what the creator has created is a planet, an earth, that is extremely complex and beautiful. You got all the plant, all the trees, the seas, the mountains, the birds, the bees, and all this system works together in beautiful harmony. Remove the humans for the time being. This system works in perfect harmony with each other. How the sea condenses in the air, and the rain comes down, and the plants taking oxygen, and plants taking oxygen, give out carbon dioxide, and the soil and the tectonic plates and the sun and the moon and the galaxies all work together. It's this amazing, complex, beautiful system that is so underestimated. It's just unreal. How just not underestimated, but how people take things for granted. A lot of people think that, for example, the Earth is just lucky, and all the planets around it are just sort of meaningless planets. When in reality, all of the planets around us are actually needed to keep the Earth in balance. And the planets have roles. The Saturn return, for example, is the return of Saturn every 28 years, which causes like a initiation process in humans. So you've got this perfect environment, this perfect setting to home something even more beautiful. And that, in our world, is humans. Humans have this special place in God's heart because God has created humans in his own image, which basically means we're kind of miniature versions of God. But we're definitely not God. Like God's little babies. And we have, when God says made in the image of, we have the capacities of God on some level. The capacities to feel emotion, the capacities for compassion, the capacities for to see into the future, grief, all of these things, logic, reason. So, and what God wanted really for humans is for humans to experience who he is. Unlike the other animals, I think we are different to other animals. We have the ability to reason. We have the ability to understand on deep levels. We have the ability to see into the future. So God created this human in order to develop, in order to grow. And that's what the soul does on a cosmic level and a microcosmic level. So the human body or the human life has this ability to develop. The soul inhabits it as a child, as a baby, and given the right circumstances, given the right environment, the human body sort of develops itself. Now this is how it should be naturally. This is how God intended it to be. When we lived together, in the Garden of Eden, for example, that was the whole idea. But unfortunately, humans were swayed by the lower forces of the world, of the earth, of the cosmos, and we went down a different path, and we forgot about the beautiful abilities of the human being to develop. And development's a very interesting word. Development has a lot to do with a certain maturity, integrity. It's about learning absolute truth. It's about living absolute truth. It's about, sometimes it's about gaining special powers like telepathy and, the ability for heightened intuition. But that's it's good, but there's this other spiritual sense of growth and understanding and getting to know God on deep levels. And we just don't go through that process anymore. Why do we not go through it? One of the main reasons is that the body's ill, the body's unhealthy. And actually the idea of development is ingrained literally into our DNA. Given the right circumstances and the right nutrition and the right purity level, this is a pretty natural process, really. And I do believe it's important to be around other people as well who are also developing for your own development. That's also important, to sort of, and I think that was God's original plan. The whole idea of family unit, the whole idea of tribal connection. So we don't develop anymore, and development is being taught out of us. I think the powers that be, the people that really run the world, they understand about development, and they don't like it because they feed off the lower vibrations of beings. They feed off fear, they feed don't know really how it works, but the rogues seem to feed off fear. So if the rogues run the planet because humans were tempted by the serpent, you know, the lower, which represents the lower beings, the rogues, then, you know, they don't want humans to develop, basically. Which leads us on to the next problem: how to develop in the 21st century. Well, the 21st century is a very, very unique arena. We are incredibly toxic. We are full of chemicals. We are surrounded by EMFs. We are constantly stressed, confused, disconnected to the natural world, disconnected from fresh air and sunlight and all of this stuff. And development's an extremely precise process. It just doesn't happen by random things. And Dr. Wilson, over the years, realised this. Do you know what I mean? He realised this. The Nutritional Balancing Program was just a healing program in the beginning. And then after a while, he started to realise, hold on a minute, I'm starting to experience things that are just beyond what I can sort of comprehend. And he realised that what's happening is the natural development of the human being. Powerful thing to stumble upon, really. And he realised, well, why aren't people healing these days? They're having all these healing modalities: veganism, fruitarianism, breatharianism, you know, juicing, fasting, you know, certain yogic exercises, kundalini. It doesn't seem to be working. What's the problem? Why is it not working? You know, he realised that people are too yin today in Chinese medicine. We're too out of balance. And I'm not going to go into the dynamics of yin and yang because I'm not too far from my destination. But he realised that our bodies are very, very yin. It's unprecedented. Never really been in this situation ever before. So with that in mind, there's a very, very specific healing process in order to get us back into balance. That's what the Nutritional Balancing Program is all about. It's about balancing the body again, and the hair mineral analysis is a tool to help us see what needs balancing. And if you start to chip away at this, you start to rebalance the body, fine-tune it, you'll start to go through this natural development process, and it is the most beautiful, astounding, amazing, awe-inspiring process that you can possibly dream of. But the problem is, there's another caveat to this. People do not get let off lightly. If you have accumulated bad karma, which the majority of us have just by living in this Western world, you have to repay that karma. No one's going to get off lightly. No one's going to have a magic pill that's going to fix every problem that you've got. So you've got to go through the healing reactions and the purging. It's a purging process to purify yourself. Do you know what I mean? How do you purify dirty water? You have to put it through some sort of purification process. Do you understand what I mean? You have to strip it of its toxins. You have to strip it of all the bad energy that's accumulated inside of there. And that's basically what the program does, you know. And the more you do that, the more you purify yourself, the more you start to turn on this natural process that has been hidden, lost, it's been taken away from us. And, you know, from an outside perspective, you just think to yourself, well, it's just doing a diet, it's just taking supplements, it's just doing a sauna. I did a sauna a few years ago, I did enemas a few years ago. Yeah, you can polish the pistons of an engine, you can clean out the exhaust system, you know, you can change the fuel, but it won't turn on the engine. Nutritional balancing allows the engine to switch on, and when the engine's switched on, amazing things begin to happen in ways that you can't possibly dream of. So that's everything I wanted to say today. If you want to start a nutritional balancing program, please email me, lewis@deephealingspace.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like, please subscribe, and I'll chat to you all soon.